we cried, kicked, coughed, sucked, saw, heard, and tasted. We sleep a lot and occasionally we smiled, although the meaning of our smiles was not entirely clear. We crawled and then we walked, a journey of 1,000 miles beginning with a single step. Sometimes we comfort, sometimes we others conformed to us. Our development was a continuous creation of complex forms, and our helpless kind demanded the meaning eyes of love. We split the universe into two halves, me and not me, and we juggled the need to prop our own with becoming, and we could will surely. Growth and development of infant. This study is talk about the development and growth or improvements of an infant's physical, cognitive, and socio-emotional development of an infant. This documents briefly reviews selected studies that we related to the topic. Recent investigations have identified specific motor skills that are enhanced through play or interaction within the people that surrounds the child. Other studies show how parents, teachers, and caregivers can enrich some activities to strengthen its effect on physical, cognitive, and social-emotional development. The reviews also explores the relationship between the high-quality child care and risk factors that may affect the infants during its development. This study also aimed to identify the improvements of an infant and also to know the fact about the development of a child and how to handle and help the child or infant to grow up and be a responsible citizens in the future. It also aimed to give some information and details to everyone that conducting the research study. The document is extended to inform the professional practice of teachers, caregivers, and policymakers who advocate for play or who are striving to include physical and outdoor play more often and more effective in their schools and centers. It also intended for parents who are trying to enhance the health and physical development of their own children. Infant's development covers full scope of abilities and learning of an infant's developing. Cognitive, social-emotional, and motor development are complementary, mutually supportive areas of growth or requiring active attention in the infant stage. A number of longitudinal studies are reviewed in order to identify the physical, cognitive, and socio-emotional development of a child and the factors that may affect their cognitive, physical, and socio-emotional development. The review places these findings into the child or infant's development. One or two more infants or child have been studied and observed using visual and textual or survey methods, while other detail can be learned in analyzing the some studies or articles that were related to it. Infant's cognitive development covers full scope of the abilities and learnings of an infant's developing.
The development of the child was continuous creation of complex forms and helpless client demanded the meaning eyes of love and extremely expanded of the adults. Development of habits, infants become more objective early learning. Movement beyond self, preoccupation, repeat actions that bring interesting or pleasurable results. This stage is associated primarily with the development or coordination. From day one, infants appeared to be programmed to tune in to their linguistic environment with the specific goal of acquiring. By 18 months of age, children typically have vocabularies of 3 to 100 words because the young child's vocabulary is very limited at this point in the development process and the child externally meaning of the words in his or her existing legislation to cover things and ideas. For healthy socio-emotional development, the infants to establish during the emotional bond characterized by teachers seek and maintain closeness as a specific figure. Children who have good attachment relationships as infants make better adjustment in a number of areas. And another process that emerges during this stage is social referencing. Infants begin to recognize the emotions of others and use the information when reacting on novel situations and people. As infants explore their world, they generally rely on the emotional possessions of their mothers or caregivers to determine the safety or appropriateness of particular endeavor. Another factor related to infant social emotion is temperament. According to researcher with the Thomas Chess and Bird which described the 9 different temperament categories, this includes the active level, mode, therefore for distress, rhythmicity, interest of response, and others. The researcher used the qualitative methods, includes observation, own analysis, or understanding, and of course the case study. And that could be all. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Social skills and physical dexterity influence the cognitive development just as cognition plays a role in children's schools to early learning and later academic achievement and are necessary domains of infants' pedagogy.